Hello, I'm Luke Hatfield. Alongside me, Joe Edwards. We're here in Bratislava. Great stadium, as we mentioned the other day, and a great win for Wolves, albeit a first half to forget, but a second half to remember.
I think that was brilliant, to be honest, and it wasn't a free-flowing performance. It was an example of Wolves completely outclassing the team that they were up against, but blimey was the character tonight. I mean, the atmosphere, you can't understate it. This was absolutely crazy here tonight. I've never known anything like it. I don't think I ever will again.
T-shirt cannons. Thousands of 14-year-olds.
And then like the PA system carried on the chanting throughout the game.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like they were just passing the microphone to kids for them to shout whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Slovan. So it was nuts. But Wolves were unnerved by it a little bit at the start. You could tell they weren't themselves in the first half, but second half turned on the style, got the win, and this is a fantastic win. Slovan as well, let's be fair, decent side.
Yeah, very good.
You know, we talk about them being the groups, you know, up surprise package so far. Their manager spoke about proving that they're not a surprise package, that they're a good team, and they did tonight. But Wolves, with their character, passed the test with flying colours, and it's such a satisfying win. You know, Wolves will play better than this. They've had more exhilarating showings than this, but this is right up there in terms of satisfaction.
Yeah, certainly is. And I tell you what, Wolves had a lot going against them. The atmosphere was certainly in the host's favour, regardless of how you want to say it. It's not really a punishment having 20,000 kids cheering you on. I know they're working on the pitch, but I tell you what, the pitch wasn't great. It wasn't great.
It cut up, didn't it?
It certainly did. There was plenty going against Wolves, as I said, and they've shown a lot to get 3 points here, which puts them in a great position in this group. Yeah,
leapfrog Slovan into second in the group, and you know, it puts them not in the driving seat, of course, because they're not first, but it puts them in the ascendancy. And if they can record the double over Slovan now, then you'd think that they've got 1 foot in that knockout stage. Got to have a word for Adama Traore. Of course, he didn't score the goals tonight, but his introduction at half time sparked a change. Just struck fear into Slovan, and Wolves looked more coherent. They played with more purpose, more creativity. Sace, that's a classic example. If you're down by the ticket, you won't win the raffle. He has a go from 25 yards. The keeper probably should save it, but he doesn't. Goes in, and then Jimenez, you know, persistent all night he was, and wins himself the penalty, and of course puts it away as he always does. So it was a difficult start, and it was a disappointing first goal. Sporaru was sharp for Slovan throughout. I thought, kind of outfoxing Patricio for the first goal, just kind of playing the shot quickly and catching the keeper wrong-footed. But as we say, that second half, so many positives to come out of that, because you know, this kind of character sets you very nicely going forward.
Yeah, certainly, and credit as well to Nuno, I think, because you know what, he made the changes at half time. He clearly had a word, and Wolves came out, and straight away you saw, and I know Traore had a lot to do with it, they just looked way more on the ball. They looked like they were causing Slovan problems, and Slovan, Wolves didn't lay a glove on them first half.
No.
So credit to Nuno, because he made the changes and they paid off, albeit there were some poor performances, I thought, in there for Wolves, but credit to Nuno.
Yeah, credit to Nuno. Got to say it, and you know, even though he got sent off, Jota helped change things as well. There's a bit on that sending off. He's just let the emotion get the better of him. Just a bit silly. I mean, I think it was 72 seconds between the two fells. You know, 2 bookings are sending off, you're off, and Nuno just basically said he's let the emotions get the better of him. Don't do it again. Essentially, post match, and. But yeah, the subs, they all did the job. Dendoncker helped shore things up after, you know, Sace had done a very good job in the middle of the park. Of course, got his goal as well. And Nuno, he has had, if there's been one thing about Nuno, perhaps in the past that some fans have highlighted, is that his changes haven't always worked, but tonight they worked a treat.
Yeah, and lastly, Joe, before we get kicked out of the ground, I was speaking to fans after the game, There was only 200 of them here. There were a fair few who didn't make it into the ground. But they're excited. They're seeing this Wolves team doing bits in Europe now. How far can this side go?
I don't think you can rule anything out with this Wolves team. I really don't. I think they can get to the knockout stages. That's the least we should expect. I think now, especially with this result tonight. As I say, they're not top in the group, but you know they've put themselves in a very strong position now to qualify. And in terms of who you get in the knockout stages, I think this group, I wrote about it last night while we were drinking in a bar, that this isn't, you know, the hardest group that Wolves could have got, but it's pretty level, pretty tough. I mean, like, you know, some of the teams that they've played, Braga are a decent outfit, Besiktas were pretty low on confidence, but Bratislava tonight were probably the pick of the bunch. And they were a good team. So in terms of setting yourself up in terms of what to expect going forward, Wolves have played some good sides and have picked up some solid results. So fingers crossed they can take that forward now and go far in this competition, because it's, even though it's only been 200 tonight, and fair play to these 200, they've made themselves heard as well. I mean, we talk about the kids going mental, but these Wolves supporters cheered the lads right on throughout the night, and they want more days like this. You know, of course, with more of them allowed in the ground. But I think Nuno's lot are well on the way to doing that, and this is a great night. Let's hope there's more to come.
Let's hope indeed. All right, a big win in Bratislava. For all the latest on that, make sure you stay with expressandstar.com.